Hello, I'm Rachel. Welcome to Rachel's Farm Shop. The reason I started Rachel's Farm Shop is that I wanted as many people as possible to be able to appreciate the type of farming that I do here. It's a passion of mine, and I'm slightly evangelical about the organic, the slow growing, the excellent tasting meat. I wanted particularly local people to be able to be part of that. I've got a base of very loyal customers who come back regularly, and I think some of them are very surprised about the difference in taste, particularly on the pork and the beef. They can really taste the difference, and they love the fact that it's local and hasn't got a lot of food miles on it. They can see the animals, the way they're treated, and they know exactly where all the meats come from. Okay, the farm's fully organic and has been for the last couple of years. So all the meat sold here and all the veg sold here is organic. What it means is that there's no pesticides used on the ground and no fertilizers. It also has quite a lot to do with animal welfare. The animals have to be slaughtered humanely and they have to be kept humanely. I've got a herd of registered purebred Longhorns. Apart from being a lovely breed to look at, the meat is well known to be fantastic, and several commentators say it's their favourite meat, such as Heston Blumenthal. I've just been given the Ginger Pig meat book, and the author of that says it's the best meat available. You can see that this is very rough grassland that they're on, and it's a beautiful bit of grassland with lots of reed beds and wildlife. The fact that they're on this land again contributes to their taste, because they're eating such a variety of different weeds and grasses, whereas a lot of cattle are kept on pristine grassland with just ryegrass, which is a sort of monoculture which isn't going to give them the depth of taste that my cattle will have. They're very slow growing, very traditional. The meat tends to be marbled, which means that the fat is within the meat rather than just on the outside, which means that it bastes the meat while it's cooking. I have heard of pedigree Jacob sheep, and again, apart from being attractive, I got them because the meat was distinctively slightly sweeter and better tasting than the normal commercial breeds. They're very hardy and they have no problem with lambing outside, and they have loads of lambs and very good milk quality. So they're the perfect breed for me. Right, the pigs at Versions live in a very natural habitat. They live in this wood and they have a lot of space, and they're outdoor all year round, so they even farrow outdoors, which is quite unusual. The piglets are very curious and inquisitive. They definitely are playful animals. When they're young, they run around like a pack of puppies, dig around and caper about, and they're very attractive to look at. In fact, visitors to the shop often go up and have a look at the pigs, and there'll generally be 2 or 3 litters to amuse you. I have 3 breeds of pigs here, well, 3 breeds of sow. I've got the large blacks, which are supposed to be the best for bacon. I've got middle whites, which are supposed to be the best for pork, and they're Heston Blumenthal's favourite breed. And then I've got Gloucester Earl Spots, which are really very good for both. The boar is an Oxford Sandian Black. So I've got a lot of variety, but the consistent thing is that they're all traditional breeds. They're rare breeds and they're slow growing. So compared to the commercial breeds where pork comes from animals that are about 10 weeks old, mine will grow from 6 to 9 months, so develop a much richer taste, and you can just tell by eating them that it's a completely different product. We've got layers and table birds here, so it's quite unusual that a farm of this size will do table birds, because they're very often a mass-produced product. As you can see, they are truly free range. The majority of free-range chickens that you buy actually live in enormous units of tens of thousands with very little opportunity to go outside. In fact, chickens are quite agoraphobic, so they don't particularly go outside if it's a field. But mine live in a wood with plenty of undergrowth, and they love coming out and rummaging around, and this contributes to their lovely rich taste, and they'll have had a very natural life pecking around amongst the undergrowth. The breed I've got for the table birds is called Sasso, bred in France to particularly suit outdoor organic production. Again, they're slow growing, and you can tell by the taste that they're very different from the average supermarket bird. The layers are various different breeds, and you'll get various different colours of eggs, and spotty ones, dark ones, white ones. Some of them are enormous, but they're generally pretty large with lovely coloured yolks, which is again from being outdoors. With really high quality meat, it's very important that it's hung for the right length of time. So my beef is hung for at least 4 weeks, sometimes 5, sometimes even more if customers require it. My lamb will be hung for at least a week, maybe 10 days. Pork doesn't benefit from hanging, on the other hand. My chickens will be hung for about 4 or 5 days, hanging in a sort of aerated fridge. That's really the best quality meat, that's how it's hung. We do all the butchery here for our products, and curing's all down here as well. I make 3 different types of sausages, cooked ham and gammon, and burgers, which are also very popular. The fresh meat that doesn't get sold gets made into delicious pies. My pork pies are high in demand, and I make things like traditional steak and kidney pies, lasagnas, moussakas. Those are all frozen. Obviously the pork pies are fresh, they're here every week. Well, I've got a growing range of vegetables which are grown on the farm, so they're all organic. Things like carrots, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, and then fruit from the orchard, lovely plums and apples and raspberries, etc. And then to complement my range of meat and veg that are produced here, I've got a lot of award-winning products that aren't necessarily stocked in supermarkets. Some of these small suppliers, they've won an award from the Guild of Fine Foods, but a lot of them actually don't want to sell to supermarkets. So a shop like mine is the only place you can get them. So there'll be jams, sauces, lovely bread, flour, really interesting rubs you can put on the meat, things like that. I want it to be a sort of Aladdin's cave of products that you won't really find elsewhere. I hope you enjoyed seeing what goes on here, and I look forward to welcoming you here soon.